Let's talk about object-oriented programming. It sounds kind of complicated, right? A little intimidating even. But what if I told you the big idea behind it is something you actually use every single day without even thinking about it? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the object and show you how it all connects back to something you probably learned in grade school. So let's just start with this thought. What if programming was as simple as writing a sentence? I know, it might sound like a bit of a stretch, but stick with me, because we're about to connect this huge computer science concept to the basic grammar you already know inside and out. Let's see how it works. Okay, first things first, we have to meet the main character of our story, the object. So what in the world is it? Well, it really all comes down to one simple idea: representation. So here's the official textbook definition for you. An object is a representation of a thing. Could be a person, a place, an idea that's expressed using a programming language. It can be something you can touch or something totally abstract. But let's just strip away all that jargon. In short, an object is just a way to represent a real-world thing inside a computer program. That's it. Seriously. Think of it like a digital blueprint for anything. To make this really hit home, let's use an example we can all picture. Forget about code for a minute and just think about a simple, real-life object we all know, a cat. This cat is going to be our guide through this whole thing. So, if an object is just a representation of something, like our cat, how do we actually describe it so a computer can get it? Well, it turns out pretty much every object can be broken down into two basic parts: what it is and what it does. Yeah, it's that simple. On one hand, you've got its characteristics, all the things that describe the cat. And on the other hand, you've got its actions, the stuff the cat can actually do. This simple split is really the key to understanding an object's anatomy. Let's get a little more specific, starting with characteristics. In programming lingo, these are called properties. So for our cat, its properties are things that describe it. What's its color? Does it have a name? How much does it weigh? All those things are its properties. Okay, and what about the actions? In the world of objects, actions are called methods. These aren't descriptions, they're the verbs. What can our cat do? Well, it can meow, it can sleep, it can hide, it can escape. Those are its methods. So an object is really just a neat little bundle of its properties and its methods, all packed together. All right, so we've got our object defined, we've broken it down into properties and methods, all with our friendly cat example. Now, get ready for the connection that just ties this all together. This is the aha moment where programming suddenly starts to look a whole lot like grammar. Because here's the really cool part. The structure of an object, what it is and what it does, it's not some new crazy concept. It's a pattern that directly mirrors the structure of the language you use every single day. Check this out. This is basically our translation guide. An object in programming, that's just like a noun in grammar, a person, place, or thing, like our cat. A property, well, that's just an adjective, something that describes the noun, like black. And a method, you guessed it, that's a verb, the action word, like sleep. Let's put our new translation guide to the test. With a super simple sentence, the black cat sleeps on the mat. Believe it or not, this sentence has everything we've just been talking about. Let's just tear this apart, piece by piece. Cat, that's our noun, right? So that's our object. Black is the adjective describing the cat, so that's a property value. Sleeps is the verb, the action, so that's our method. And we can even go one step deeper. On the mat gives more detail to the action of sleeping. In programming, we'd call that extra detail a parameter. See? You just analyzed a sentence exactly the way a programmer would think about it. So that's a pretty neat analogy, I think. But why does any of this matter? Why do programmers build entire systems this way? Well, the answer really gets to the heart of why this way of thinking is so incredibly powerful. And here is the most important point. Thinking in objects isn't just some clever programming trick. It's a really intuitive and powerful way to model the real world in code. Programmers look at a super complex system like a bank or a social network or a video game, and they break it down into logical objects: customers, posts, characters, each one with its own properties and methods. It's how they take chaos and make it manageable. So, the next time you look at the world, try to see it through this lens. Just look around you right now. Your phone, your coffee cup, that car outside. What are its properties? What are its methods? This way of thinking isn't just for coders. It's a super useful framework for understanding any complex system. So go on. What objects around you right now could you describe this way?